can't do that.
Why?
I've got to give him the crime set, haven't I? I'll get a crime set.
You've got to let him shoot you first. Then he
late.
becomes a viable target.
Oh!
There's a car over here.
What?
There's a car over here.
I didn't see which way you went, mate.
The Circle 120.
Hang on, which way did you go?
It's
I didn't see
got
where you...
all the tires. Just come out into the clearing.
What the
It's
fuck?
got all 4 tyres.
Right, try again. He's terribly playing a fucking grenade up there.
What the fuck? Why did you ram me?
I didn't ram you, I ran the Connie.
Space. The final frontier, apart from we're going through time. These are the voyages of the starship, except it's a time ship. Ariana.
Stay there. Can't believe you didn't set that one off. Son of a whore. I'll do that. Why not work?
Fucking hell, look at that tree. Been a long time since I've done it. I'm up here. Whoa!
Slow it. Fucking hell.
I'm on kids on yet.
Right,
There's the next one. It wasn't here.
hang on. I'll wait.
Yeah, should we jump off at the last second? Genius,
Go.
yeah?
Reams.
Oh, well, yeah. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. I don't know what I did.
Hello folks, welcome to day 121. You get to hear half of a story. There's still stairs at the car park at the place we all go to.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got to the McDonald's drive-thru I stopped and tried to figure out why. And it's because Waze on my phone didn't have permission to use my location in the background. Which makes sense. Okay, cool. That's the reason why that didn't work. Why has it worked every other time? I don't understand how it has worked every other time up until tonight. When it's always used in the background. But my phone had it set to only when the app's open on my phone. Okay, cool. That's the end of month report all over again that decided it didn't know how to run, even though it's run fine without me changing any code.
Where's my wheel gone, really?
I'm hoping time is still paused. It is. Right, we should. I should just be able to log in as admin. Let's start syncing.
For some reason, I'm just got to jump out quickly and back in, I'm afraid, because it seems to be my dead zones have all reset.
Oh.
And I don't really know why.
That real-time sync is on, so that should get us back in sync now. Where the fuck am I?
Yep, all dead zones are reset. Why does it do that? At least with 22, you can 25, sorry, you can now change it in the game.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
useful.
that's good.
I found like a hack solution to my. Do you ever? So I always find with the pedals, they're at a really shit angle for sitting in a gaming chair.
Yeah.
Or for sitting in an office chair. Your ankles are like scrunched up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a bit of two before. That I propped under the front lip.
So
Makes it almost almost the perfect angle to
Ah.
comfortably sit and use the pedals. It doesn't look good for my perfectly manicured desk that I'm slowly building, but
You
just
could
realised,
like now cut that
my-
down to size, paint it black.
yeah, I could put it across so it's there
Hang on.
permanently.
You do realise that basically what Martin's done there is he's just become that new news article man who's had plank of wood. Sorry, 4x4 wood. Who's not he kept it all these years. Has finally found something to use it for.
Well, no, it's only been there. It's only been in my room for about 2 weeks. It's been waiting to go to the dump because it was the frame that I built where I had the wheel sat. You know, I built that frame so the wheel would sit up like a tractor wheel.
Yeah.
Well, obviously I took that apart because it pushes me just too far away from the desk. So it was that. I was waiting to do a dump run with Mel. I just took it apart and used one length of it.
Yeah.
But no, I think I might just build it into the desk. So, because my PC's under my desk now, because it's just too big to sit on top.
Yeah.
But that's sat on right now. That's sat on a bit of chipboard that's left offcut left over from building the desk, so it's not on the carpet. Because obviously they all say you shouldn't put it on the carpet. So it's lifted off the floor. I might build a frame under there, so it's a bit of a leg foot rest under there as well. I've got an idea anyway. As I'm slowly building the desk, so it's looks pretty rather than just functional. I'm gonna jump into the right tractor. We need to have a tidy up around the map. There's a lot of stuff.
100%.
Not really doing anything.
Why
Cheers.
did I decide that that's where that was going to be parked?
Oh, not that I'm going on about how great my chair is still, but it's got arms that raise and lower and swivel left and right as well, and slide back and forth. So when I'm using my joystick and I'm flying a lot, I normally have to sit with my arms in the air, just supporting them.
Yeah.
The arm comes all the way up. I can lean on the edge of the arm and perfectly support it while I'm using my joystick and my throttle.
That's cool.
That's really good. And then when I'm driving, just drop it down out of the way so I can use the wheel. It's so far. I mean, it's new, right? So it might only last a month before it starts getting shit. I don't know. But my initial impressions are it's a really good chair.
Yeah, good.
And I just don't get hot in it at all. And considering the weather we're in right now, that's
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
yeah, that's a good thing.
Mine, I am sweating.
Yeah, no, this is it's because it says full mesh all the way around, on the base, on the back, everywhere. So it just breathes.
Yeah.
And it's a stupid thing. I'll have to send a picture, but the way the headrest and the backrest is, they're built on a polymer frame, but then the mesh is stretched out across that frame, so it creates like a void at the back with a lip.
Right.
So I'm thinking I can put a really big battery bank in there, sat in the back there, so I can plug my IR headset into that rather than a computer, so the wire's not going across me onto the computer.
Yeah.
Because it's only the IR reader, the head tracker, is literally just powered so the LEDs light up. It doesn't need to be connected to the computer. Oh, you're doing it that way, are you?
We can do it with that if you want.
No, it's fine. I drove it down here to do it with that, but do the cows need feeding, or are they?
They should be alright, I think. Because I think I fed them after I paused time.
I'll have a look.
This is the last 5 of our 25,000 litre silage bales.
We've got to go and do grass, haven't we? We've got to go and mow our grass.
They are
make some more
already, yeah.
silage. I might get the mower. I might get in my tractor and go and start looking at that. Start mowing. Yeah, no, the cows are fine. Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of work between just the two of us, unless someone else can be persuaded to earn some wages. No, fuck off, mine.
Whoa!
I've been spoiled with too much by the improvements on Farming Simulator 25. I do want to go back on the M3.
But that's where you and me are different because I don't think it's that much better. I mean, it's prettier. I'll 100% give you that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's, other than that, I don't think there's much more improvements there.
But there are some features in there that I like more in a way.
Do you maybe just push those bales in? Because as I was unloading them, I touched the other bales and it threw me away.
Threw you away.
Yeah, it was interesting what happened. I accidentally touched the straw bales that are waiting there to go in, and it just propelled the trailer and the bales that were still attached to the trailer away.
Oh, if I roll because of this, I'm not counting
no,
it, just so we're aware.
Yeah. It's just the hay, I think, that needs to go in. We have got a ridiculous amount of straw. I don't think we need to store straw on any of the harvests we do. We might be able to sell that.
Ooh. I knew that was going to happen.
Did you roll?
Yeah. Well, I was doing something I definitely shouldn't have been doing, and now I've got a fucking... That's why I put that stipulation in.
They ended up in that situation because of a weird glitch anyway, so...
I'll log in to use super strength. Not super strength.
Unflip. We need to, as well, at some point, do the honey and sheep shale. Whoa.
Shale?
Yeah, I don't know.
We're going back to base to sort the shale out. Yeah, no, there's a lot in 25 that I like, that has changed. I like, yes, but I don't think it's enough. If I wasn't a super fan, I wouldn't have bought it.
Oh, yeah.
If I wasn't a super uber fan, I would have just stuck with this because I don't think there's enough of an improvement, and it's still buggy. That's again, it's all new games. There's still really fucking annoys me that we just launch every new game and we'll fix the bugs when we can be bothered.
Yeah.
If we can be bothered.
Yeah, that is the.
But it's all games. It's not just that. It's all games do that.
That's it. Yeah, a lot of them do it. A lot.
It's so they can. For fuck's sake, This has gone horribly wrong because everything was neatly stacked, but it's not anymore. Come on, get yourself in an area where you can actually be picked up. Don't roll away from that area. Right. I want you sat down so you're not fucking stood up in the air. Get you. Okay.
Obviously where it is mesh as well, I have my aircon behind me blowing towards me.
Nice.
So it's my whole back is nice and like so. Land on your wheels. Land on your wheels. Land on your wheels. Just land on your wheels. He landed on it. The downside to playing 25 in this is I get very used to not worrying about gravity.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just had a moment where I was like tipped left and right a couple of times. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other week my air conditioner's developed that weird rattle from one of the fans.
Yeah.
I decided, right, all of the coils and that need cleaning anyway. And the best way to do that is to take the cover off. And while I've got the cover off, I might as well see what's loose. If it's something that's loose. Yeah, to actually get to the motor, I have to like dig through all the insulation, like the foam that they've put in. So I was like, I'm not doing that.
It's not made for repairs, then, is it? It's just made for burning and replacing.
So it still very much has the rattle, and it's definitely its days, I think, are probably numbered. But I was able to clean the coils, so yay.
It's the problem. Like, I did see a thing the other day, which I found was, I had a chuckle at, but obviously it was about the Chinese and obviously the sanctions and everything that are being put in place.
Yeah.
And they're basically saying, so there's an unwritten rule in China, obviously because of copyright laws and stuff, they don't really follow them. But they do have a rule that it can't be as good, it can't be made with the same materials. That's how they get around the copyright stuff.
Right.
Oh, it's made cheaper, it's weird. You'd have to watch the video to understand it a bit more than I'm explaining, I think. But yeah, basically they make it with substandard materials. It looks slightly different. It's the same thing, but not quite as good a quality.
Yeah.
Well, because of all the sanctions that have been put on China by Trump, they've basically turned around to the factories and go, nah, just do what you want, copy what you want, just do what you want. Basically, yeah, we don't care. So I find, copy it like for like, sell it for half the price. Yeah, go for it.
That's that's probably how I got that car tablet for so cheap. That's such good quality. I mean, it could die next week. I don't know. I've had it 3 days.
Because have you heard about the other thing that because what Amazon's doing?
No?
Or Amazon did.
Well, from what I understand of what I heard about it, because of like you said, the tariffs and stuff. Amazon, I think are on the side of backing like China.
Yeah, they're getting themselves in trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, what they're doing is Amazon is apparently going to be putting up the prices and showing why it's up to this via the
by the tariffs.
By the tariffs, so they're going to show like bits and pieces like that. So it's like they're basically giving the finger to.
Because they've basically come out, the Trump administration basically come out and said that essentially they think Amazon are working for China.
It's
going to get messy fast. It's going to get messy fast.
Yeah,
the tariffs he's put in place, they only affect people who are buying the product, right? The importer.
Yes. Yeah. So where's the importer gonna source that money from? So then they're not going to take that loss, right? The importer's not going to take that loss.
So they're going to put that on the customers.
Yeah. Right. So the only person that's going to suffer is the customer, which is the American public.
Yes. So what I don't understand is because he's basically just sanctioned his own country.
No, he sanctioned China.
Yeah,
but
so
it's his citizens that are paying for it.
Yes and no. So, and I get why he's doing it, and he, not because it's Trump, but I think he's right for doing it, because he's trying to force the workforce back into America, trying to force people to build stuff in America.
Right.
Rather than outsourcing it outside the country. So by putting big tariffs on, so he put massive tariffs on Mexico and places like that, because John Deere were talking about moving all of their factories out of America to Mexico for cheap labor.
Right, okay.
That's right.
So what he said was, right, yeah, you can do that. I'm going to sanction the living hell out of every single tractor you bring into the US.
So he's basically trying to price them out.
Yeah.
In a sense.
It's going to be cheaper for them to manufacture it in America than it is to outsource it, is what he's trying to do. So
okay.
I'm not saying it because it's Trump and whatnot, because I don't particularly like Trump myself. But actually, for what's good for the country, I think he's right.
Okay.
I think like Britain should be looking at it as well, myself, because we're losing so much manufacturing, so many skills workforces out of the UK, because everything gets outsourced to China and Taiwan. We're not actually doing anything ourselves anymore. So yes, in that sense, I think he's right for doing it, but that is my personal opinion. I know not anyone will agree with me because it's Trump, and we base things based on who it is, not what's actually right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how to put. Right, are we doing this as silage, this field, or are we doing it as?
Silage, yeah.
Right, I need to try and work out how to put the row.
So we've still got hay in storage. Silage we've just used. Well, we've got the smaller silage bales, but our main bulk of silage was just used.
Right, I don't think I put the PTO on. I haven't.
Have you seen the other?
You should be able to row it up with that, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how to do that.
Is
I
it
can't put
the
the fucking
comma
things down.
key
No.
or full stop?
No. I swear it was P or something. Well, so it is powered on. Ah,
I got it.
okay. That should roll up now. Sorry, Baz, what were you saying?
No, I take it you've seen the other recent thing now. So obviously, turns out they've signed the mineral seal, haven't they?
With Ukraine.
Ukraine, yeah. They've actually.
Yeah, they were always going to sign it. Ukraine were always going to sign it because
Oh yeah.
they're not going to, like, the only way they can get their money that they want is if they sign it. So they were never not going to sign it. That's.
Oh no. But if they finally have obviously done it, but obviously now he's got his interest. Obviously got the interest now with the which is obviously going to be that. I mean, well, looking at it now, obviously they're going to want to protect the interest now, aren't they? From like obviously Russia.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that kicks off. It's like Trump's. This is like Trump's middle finger to Putin in a sense. Although I'm laughing at the recent other thing about that as well. Because did you see the other thing about their Putin wants he wants a ceasefire now from the 9th to whatever it is because of their Victory Day thing. What they want to be celebrating, but the problem is now because obviously the threats of possible like attacks on them. And because they want the ceasefire, not only no other leaders is going to want to turn up there to celebrate or anything like that, because they'll probably be too concerned.
I don't believe the problem is, and I'm a staunch believer. You'll never convince me otherwise. All of our news is propaganda. Everything we get shown, I don't believe any of it is a problem, so I can't watch it. So, all of my news now comes from fucking TikTok.
Yeah, that's where I've got my information. Or people who are more, I don't know, I'm going to say, I always take everything with a pinch of salt on it, but like
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, people who do sound actually a lot more, actually more realistic about it than compared to some of the other news outlets.
It's just they're just the mainstream news, especially since COVID.
Oh yeah.
Are so unbelievably biased to everything. I just can't believe a word they fucking say.
Yeah.
Especially like the BBC. They're so.
What's normal like?
It's like all the fucking. I still can't understand how we are doing absolutely nothing to tackle theft in this country at all. We're just ignoring it. But we put someone in prison for saying that they don't like a prime minister.
Yeah.
For 8 months.
Yeah.
Why?
Words. Hurty words. Tell them to use hurty words again.
Have you got the baler set on the biggest bales it can make?
Yes.
Just check.
It wasn't for the very first bale. Which I'm already annoyed about because that's a separate pickup we have to do now because it's different size.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we have it the smallest for the contracts, don't we?
Yes.
And then the largest.
Good.
There's a load of baling contracts as well.
Yeah.
Loads. I think it was 30.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
As I said to you, my issue is with this is we've made it where it's just been too easy. And I've kind of given up on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Which sounds bad. I'll finish the year, but I would like to have been like just on trying to make our farm work rather than well, all I've got to do is a load of contracts because there's nothing else to do.
I was hoping and I thought the way we'd set it up at this point of the year, we would be going, I don't think we're going to get a bonus.
Well,
Like, we might just recoup any money we've sunk into this. Like, we might break even, but we're rolling in it now.
from the little bits I've seen about precision farming,
Yeah.
it will cover subsidies
Ooh.
as well.
Oh, okay.
And there's a few other little bits they're putting in. I can't remember. I told you about the seeding. It'll put the rows in. You have to. It's a setting
Yes.
you have to turn on, but it'll
Yeah.
put the rows in. Just you don't have to row. You don't have to physically put the rows in like we fucked up over there.
Yeah, there's a couple of fields I've walked through and gone, what the fuck were we smoking while doing this?
Yeah, yeah.
There's one I remember you saying, I think you'd reversed on one of the corners or something about the corner.
Yeah.
And I
it
walked through the
fucked up.
field and I'm looking at it now and I'm like, Jesus, it like...
You just look across the field we're going past now and look at the rows in that. You're like,
Yeah.
what the hell did we do there?
Fucking hell, I didn't realise there's like 3 tram lines right next to each other.
Yeah,
What?
because I think I think we worked out on
So
that
it
field,
locks
when
on
you
on
go
the
around the
headland, didn't it?
headland, you had to turn it off because it
Yes.
locked on the headland.
Yeah. Yeah, if
But I
we can
wanna
just
do
have
is-
it, put them in itself,
Yeah,
that would be...
Yeah. But yeah, I remember I watched Slapped Ham, not Slapped Ham, that's a ghost hunting thing. DJ Goham, sorry. He does weekly updates and stuff on everything, and he did a 2-minute or 3-minute video on precision farming. Basically said, yeah, it's going to cover subsidies, but you'll feel like it's not worth it because the values and that the money you get paid out isn't as good as you expect it to be. But I'll have to
I
find a
don't think the
video. and send it
subsidies...
to you.
They're reducing the subsidies now, aren't they?
Yeah,
real life.
but year by year, yeah. So in a couple of
Yeah.
years, there won't be any. That's the Bill Gates way. He's been had his word with the Prime Minister, and we'll all be eating bugs in 20 years' time.
Lovely.
That's what he wants. That's why he's bought. He owns 80% of the farmland in America. 75,
Really?
80%. Yeah. Yeah, he's been going around buying up all the farmland. He doesn't want us farming like raising cattle. He doesn't want us traditionally farming like we are. He generally thinks we should be getting protein and that from bugs.
I don't want to eat bugs.
You might not get away because obviously you might not get a choice because they're still pushing for 15-minute cities. They're still pushing for everyone being locked into their zones. And for them to manage that, you'll have to be on a social credit score.
Right.
And your social credit score will manage how many social points, credit points you have to buy certain foods. So you'll only have enough points to buy a certain amount of meat a month, enough points to buy a certain amount of greens a month. And if you go over it, it'll deduct from your social credit score, which will lower your score overall and limit what you can and can't do and where you can and can't go.
Fucking hell.
Look at where China is now. Do a little bit of research to where China is now. That's where they want us. They have zones locked off in China. For you to cross zones, you have to have a certain level of social credit score. And if you don't, you can't leave your zone.
What?
Yeah. Because they're pushing hard for it in this country. I don't think it never gets reported on. It's not in the mainstream news. So they've started some 15-minute cities in the UK already, but they're not hard 15-minute cities, so they're not locked off zones, but they are blocked, so you can't drive through them.
Right.
You can drive into them, like to get to another zone, you'd have to drive round a one-way system, and then drive into the next zone. So roads between the zones are blocked off, so you can walk between the zones, but you can't drive between the zones.
Lovely.
Yeah. That's right. Peterborough was on the shortlist for testing one for a
Oh.
while. I don't know if it still is. Yeah, there's lots that's going on and happening that they just don't report on because they know we won't like it.
We'll get our pitchforks out.
Be careful what you say, they might be listening.
They could be. I am streaming.
Ding dong.
Social media abuse, you'll be in prison for 6 months.
I'd like to add a disclaimer. I don't own a pitchfork.
He hasn't got the muscle mass to use one either, so you're all safe.
And my car can't drive further than 15 minutes anyway, so, you know.
I suddenly remembered your streaming and I've just been very political on your stream. I do apologise. All views given were not Callum's, they were mine.
I've always said for the most part, don't care what's mentioned on my stream. I am supposed to put a political flag up, but whatever. I never had to in the past. Did I agree to the terms of service? Yes, I did.
We're just using our only right what we got left of freedom of speech.
We don't have it. Doesn't exist, Buzz.
No.
I'm sorry, it doesn't. Freedom of speech does not exist in this country. And I don't care what anyone says to tell me I'm wrong.
Damn.
But anyway, we've been all serious. It's not like us.
No, it's not.
Butters, you're a twat.
It's funny. I was just about to say quick, someone insult Butters.
Sorry, what was that? Little and large? Couldn't hear you.
Little and large.
Hey, mate, I'm large now, I don't care.
Fucking hell.
I don't think that's what he was referring to.
What, he wasn't saying I've got a big penis?
What is he? Has he seen it?
I fucking
Don't know, Butters, have you seen it?
Well, that's what I heard. The search party couldn't find it, but that's just.
The last I heard it was described
well,
as
I
a
am
tiny
married,
spider.
So...
Oh, wow. Oh, dear. Anyway, that doesn't matter. More important, words. Callum,
Yep.
have you read the tutorial yet?
You can shut up.
Captain
Yeah.
Tutorial.
You're the one talking over the tutorial that stopped me doing it.
Because I am the tutorial.
That's, you know, that would be fine, Butters, if you were the tutorial. You were telling me about a fabricator while I was still trying to figure out how to turn the power on.
I thought of a new nickname for Butters.
What's that?
Spoiler risk.
Spoiler risk.
You mean spoiler alert?
No, you're a risk
Spoiler
of
risk.
spoilers.
No, no, yeah,
You're a
yeah.
risk of spoilers. Is that? I know you're going to watch mine. I know you're going to watch it, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm just going to tell you a little bit that won't affect the story. They all die in the end. What?
Come on. Oh dear.
I still can't get over last night with the fucking mag boots. I've got a perk that gives me mag boots that stops me having to sit down when we jump. Well, I've got mag boots. No, you haven't, because they're a perk for being an engineer. Yeah, I can go on spacewalks.
I mean,
Like...
I know. I think people read it on the thing there. I misheard the what's it called?
Right, Callum.
yeah.
So I've just spun round. I'm doing the same runs up and down,
Yeah,
right?
and you're missing a bit.
Yeah, no, because I'm following the run up and down. I'm locked in. I'm on auto.
Yeah. Interesting,
I
isn't
don't
it?
think that's working.
No.
You what?
So I've got. Now it's all of a sudden gone. No, you're wrong. You should be here. See? See what I mean? I'm doing the up and down with the stealth guided steering mod, and it's freaking out. I don't know what it's doing. It's having a right little cattywampus.
I know I say this every year, going to a next year of farming. If we do another year, I think I am going to actually try and impose the first person rule on myself.
Yeah, we can give it a go. For the best part, when I was just playing for myself, I spend most of my time in first person anyway. It was when I was streaming.
Yeah.
I went to third person because it just gets a bit boring, right?
Yeah.
Just watching me in the cab, I think, could be considered a bit boring. But
That's one of the rules we had, though, isn't it? If we're on like guidance
That was
steering or something,
first
running
year.
down a route, we
first
could.
and second year.
Yeah. We had it for this one as well. If we were on guidance steering or course play or something, we could jump into third person.
Oh, Callum, I've not followed. I didn't realise that was a rule for this year.
It lasted like a month
I was going to say I've not followed that at all.
because I stopped following it quite early on as well. We had a fine for it. Well, no, it was a forfeit. We had to do forfeits if we were caught driving.
Yes, I remember. No. I think this year, where early on we had so much trouble, so many issues and problems,
Yeah.
I just gave up on a lot of stuff because I thought the whole year was just going to be issues and trouble.
Hmm.
But actually, it's become a little bit boring because it's so easy.
I thought we were going to have more trouble just with the server itself. Because we
Yeah.
lost the world, what, 3 or 4 times in the first week? And I was like, if it's doing this every day, like,
Yeah, it's going to be a rough year.
yeah. I thought you were going to continue down and get that last bit up there.
Nah, I'm going to go up the long roads and I'll finish that at the end. It's a bigger field than I initially allowed for.
It's got a big field, yeah.
No, I just wanna, like, I think definitely we'll have to limit course play
Yes.
because we've been incredibly lazy using course play this year. Where there's a lot of things we should have just driven ourselves and done ourselves, so we've just gone outside of put on course play, especially around contracts.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting the way we were talking about as well, where we're using the money we've got now from the last 2 years of farming to start our own farm.
Start our own farm, yeah.
Because we're not going to be able to afford a great deal of land.
No, or we can afford land, but we're going to have to buy cheaper equipment to do
Yes.
it,
Yeah.
which means a lot of second-hand equipment.
Yep.
And on 25, that's going to be fun because the wear and tear on a vehicle does make a difference.
Yes.
Because I was watching a thing about, it was talking about harvesters. And so you can buy a second-hand harvester with damage, but wear and tear and age on it can cost you up to 40% of your yield.
Ooh, fuck.
Yeah. So it has like having an older bit of equipment with wear and tear can cost you quite a lot. So maintaining and spending the money to keep that harvester tip top, and obviously trading it in when it gets too old. So we wouldn't necessarily be able to just go out and buy the oldest harvester we can because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
We have to balance what we're going to lose over yield.
The thing I'm most upset about moving over to 25 is I am going to be losing this tractor.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
And
But we're going to have to because we're going to smaller
it.
equipment anyway.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I've quite enjoyed having it as the last 2 years.
There's nothing to say we could do a Top Gear, and if we can find these tractors modded, we could put them as ornaments on the farm on the strict rules that we are not allowed to use them.
Oh, that's a good idea. They
So
can
we
have
just
the
have them
hours
on
and
the
that's set
farm
on
as-
them, and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
parked
we
up
just
and
can't
things.
use them.
Yeah, I like that.
Because I was thinking that obviously I've got nearly 170 worked hours in this tractor.
I've just hit 171.
Yeah. You've overtaken me actually, taking you a while to catch up, but you've been doing a lot more lately, to be fair. But yeah, no. But at the same time, I am a little bit bored of just driving the same tractor all the time. It will be
I get
nice
that.
to
Yeah,
jump into something different.
yeah. I've just enjoyed, like, this is the one constant we've had from last year to this year. Seeing the hours grow on it, and
Yeah.
also the reality that 171 hours of my life has gone sitting in this tractor.
Yeah. But also, as well, to consider, we do have really powerful tractors and we don't really struggle with anything. Whereas
Yeah.
actually, where we'll be limited on the new map with size and weight and stuff, actually, we might not have a tractor that can do a job we need it to do. We might have to rent something.
Yes.
I quite like the idea of that. But
Well, like you said, you've been trying to make a change for it anyway because of the already won the challenge.
yeah.
No, we won 3 months in.
there is no. Yeah. There's no challenge to this. There's no challenge because we made it so there's no challenge. Unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Well, we did make it a challenge in terms of what we had to achieve,
Yeah.
but we gave ourselves everything we needed to achieve it. Like, we've got every single bit of equipment we need.
Yeah, because we.
There's no challenge.
Yeah.
And what we don't, we just go and do a deal with the rent boys, and it's just not that bad.
Are the rent boys coming with us, or are they staying?
I don't know whether we should just use the in-game.
So I was thinking about that.
Punishes us hard, but maybe we need to be punished. You know what I mean? But in terms of it costs a lot of money, and we've always said the in-game system doesn't work because it overcharges.
You actually earn a lot of money anyway. So
But you actually earn a lot of money
out,
anyway.
I think.
And I think leaving the workers, if we're going to have workers, fine, has to be set on the highest possible we can pay them. It has to hurt to use it.
I think that goes to like
so that we
200%.
don't. Yeah, well, yeah, then fine. That's what we have to do.
Okay.
Because then instead of you going, gee, I'm tired tonight, I can't really be bothered. Yeah, but right now what happens is, and I've seen you do it on your stream. I'm just going to do a quick stream.
And I sit
I'll
and
put a
use.
tractor on.
Yeah.
Cosplay. And there's no real punishment to doing that. Whereas actually, putting him in this field is going to cost me $2,000.
Yeah.
Might just do it myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There has to be a challenge there.
I agree with it.
I definitely think steering away from the animals next year.
Yes.
Not get rid of them completely. I still think we should keep some cows. But I definitely think we need to steer away from it. Like, cows have won this for us on their own. If we'd done nothing else, we'd still win.
Yeah.
Because the amount of money the cows have brought in has been insane.
We are set between now and this year ending. It ends at the end of. I think we end it in the 3rd week of July. So we are set to earn May, June, July. 750 grand from the cows.
See what I mean?
We're set to double our money before the end of the year.
Yeah, it's just too much. So yeah, I think keep some cows. Definitely keep some cows, but probably more like 20 cows,
Yeah.
not 250 per shed.
And I think, as you said as well, I think we should deliver the milk.
Yeah, we should have to deliver the milk ourselves. Yeah, there has to be a punishment to. Oh, I can't really be bothered to go on today. Well, there you go. You lost milk sales.
Yeah.
Or I can't be bothered to do it this week or whatever. We keep it for a week or whatever we keep it for. I don't know. But. And to be honest, then feeding them and coming on to feed them and bed them up and stuff like that, it's not so much of a chore. Because you're not doing it as much. Like, what are we? 4 days we can get. Every 4 days we have to feed the cows. 4 to 5 days.
Well, that was over the winter.
Oh, it's barely set to go up.
Yeah. We're going to be back to every 2 or 3 days. Because we're end of spring-ish now, coming into summer on the server. I suppose real life.
I've just had an idea. It's just an idea if we do it. But we could do an auction for farm equipment. Using the thing you use to determine how much we get for yield and stuff.
Yeah.
The spinner. We could do an auction where we're bidding on stuff and we spin to see whether we get it or not.
Ooh, yeah.
But I don't know how we'd set that. That's on you. I don't know how we'd set that up.
That could be quite
But
easy.
we could have some equipment in the field, set out, and we go, well, we're going to bid on that. We'll see if we get it.
I could set that up as a.
Like mowers and stuff.
I could set that up as a stream thing, actually.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah.
And where. It shouldn't be too difficult to set up. So, like, we could say. I don't know, as an example, the tractor's going to start at 100 grand. For example.
I don't know what these lanes are doing, Callum. It's fucking up. I don't know what it's doing.
No. Yeah, say we got a tractor there. Say it starts at 100 grand. We can then say in the app we're going to bid 101 grand.
Yeah.
The likelihood is someone's going to outbid us on that, so the chance of us getting it will be lower. So we then may have to bid a bit higher, and it might get to the point where we're just going to have to let it go to the other person. And we don't get that tractor. That I should be able to easily set that up. It just needs to look at how much we're putting in and go in, okay, is that higher than... Yeah.
Just an idea, because then we could cover off getting some equipment old, but then the stuff we can't win at the auction, we will have to, and if we need it, we'll have to buy it new.
Yes.
One feature I do like about 25 even, I keep saying 22, is obviously I've just done a full spin round with the mowers down and running.
Yeah, you can't.
Have you ever tried doing that on 25?
It struggles to back up and that.
Yeah. You just struggles. Sometimes you just can't.
Yeah.
You have to raise it.
It's not doing the row properly, is it? Oh,
It's not doing any of the rows properly, Callum. I've given up using it. I'm having to do it manually because for some reason every time I spin round it resets the row position and I can't work out in any of the settings why it's doing it. I've been like that whole row down. I was in the settings trying to work out to see if there was something in there that I turned on as to why it's doing it.
Strange. Yeah, I'll have a look at an auction thing. It shouldn't be. There might even be a script out there because it just needs
Mr.
to.
Sloppy could, Mr. Sloppy could run his one final auction for the year.
And one come all to Mr. Sloppy's auction.
See if we can try and set up a map. See if we can find something industrial to set up where all the equipment's set out and
Yeah,
we
it's
can go look
like a
around it.
standalone map where we actually go and do the auction.
Yeah, we'll just do it.
'Cause, yeah, that
Just do a
won't
video
affect
on it.
the initial books
Oh,
either.
yeah.
That's not a bad
just like
idea.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to put any. Well, you only need to put on whatever certain mods if it was a modded vehicle or something.
Yeah, we'd have to do it on 25 because we're planning on doing the next year on 25.
Yeah.
We'd have to put whatever mods we're going to use and everything on, and then just go and film a video with the auction.
Yeah.
And then we'll just spin a wheel, see whether, or however you set it up, however we do it, we'll see what we get. And then whatever we don't get, we can't win, we will have to buy new. We'll have to pay full sticker price for.
Even have it times where. Right, I've got ideas going for this. I think I know what I'm going to do.
I was going to say, it's all on you, because I can't fucking turn my computer on half the time, so making shit like that working.
It's going to be a very crude app because it's only going to be used once.
Yeah.
But it'll be like the Trotters app we've got now. We'll all be able to see it. It will sync live. I don't know if you guys have ever used the live scenes with Earth's Elite events. So they all sync live between us. It will work like that. And then there'll be an overlay for the stream. So they'll be able to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And it will literally be like, right, okay, we're going to start bidding on this thing. And I will have the system bid against us up to a certain point. Like, there'll be a higher and higher chance of us winning it. So if it started at 100 grand and we went 200 grand, it's going to go 100% chance you got that. Well done. No one's upping it by 100.
Yeah.
And it'll be timed as well. So if it's like, we bid 105, someone bids 110, and we're like, I don't know if we want to do 110 on that, and you know it takes us 30 seconds to decide, we may have lost it.
Yeah.
And it will be, once it's started, none of us will be able to stop it. It will just keep going. Like as realistic as an auction as I can get setting it up in a one-time use app. The stream side will look pretty. I can't guarantee our side will. It might just be text that says you've not got it. Bid again.
Yeah. As much as I love this size of map, it's amazing that someone's put the time and effort in to build it and make it, but it's just too big.
100%.
Too big for what we're using it for anyway. If it was a multiplayer map where there's loads of people on it,
yes,
100%, yeah, it's the right size. But for how we are using it, we don't use 90% of the map.
If he does go ahead and do a 16x of the map, I want to see it. I don't want to farm it.
Yeah, yeah.
God, I don't want to farm it that big. But I want to see it.
This is a 4x or 8x?
4x.
4x.
Yeah.
Can you imagine 16x?
It's
Fucking hell.
ridiculous, yeah.
2-hour drive across the map, mate.
Yeah. So, I mean, I want to
It's a 15-minute
jump on just to
drive
see what it
across
looks
this.
like and experience it, but oh God, I don't want it to be our map.
I quite like that map we were on the other night. I'm not saying there won't be something else that comes out.
So, Moss Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
It's quite
that.
a nice map.
I'd be down for that being the map.
It looks run down enough as well to go, oh yeah, no, this is a rundown farm we brought, you know.
Oh, it must have been around about this time last year, as we were starting to talk about this year of farming. And we had chosen the Oaks. And we're like, we're supposed to be taking over a farm that's been run into the ground and everything's fucking brand new.
Yeah.
And then it's like
Vintage Oats.
a month and a half or so before we're supposed to start. We'd pretty much set up the map as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, Guys, the Vintage Oaks is coming.
I remember like counting down. Is it going to be in time
Yeah.
for us to set it up, or are we going to have to leave it?
Because we're using
Yeah, I
the
remember.
very first release of the Vintage Oaks, which has issues. There are things that are fixed. Like we cannot, the trees in front of us, we can't chop any down. We will destroy the safe. That's now fixed. That isn't a thing anymore. But we cannot update it without starting again. And there's gaps in roads and that kind of stuff that.
But we
You
had
just
to go
don't-
with it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You can't pick it up
So we went
until
with it.
like you've got hundreds of players using it, but we
I
unfortunately
think the thing,
needed to set up and go and couldn't change it.
the thing I will look forward to with a smaller map as well, is the ability to jump on after work, start and finish something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause look at the amount left
there's
on
no
this. and
way.
we're
Look at
20
this
to
field.
3.
We're not finishing this tonight. You know, we probably won't finish it tomorrow night.
No.
So actually, it becomes a little bit tedious in the sense of, oh, I've just done the same thing 3 nights in a row.
Yeah.
It gets a bit tedious, whereas actually smaller fields, oh, I can finish this field tonight quite easily.
And we'll do this for 3 nights in a row, and then we'll go on the 4th night going, right, okay, so what we're doing, well, there's actually another 5 grass fields that we need to do.
Yeah. Well, we're cutting grass for weeks now.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
the stuff. Cutting, baling, picking up, and whatever we're doing for at least a week or 2 now, because that's what.
And we're going to go from doing this to harvesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm fairly certain our barley field, I think it's the barley field, is going to be ready next month.
Yeah, we're pretty chocker on this now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. We'll have to. I think we'll have to be a lot more careful how we set up what we're planting, growing, harvesting, all that on the next map, so it's spread out more.
Yes.
So
So
we're
I
doing
have
more across the year.
I've noticed on this one, and we may have discussed this before, it may not be new information, it may be information I've rediscovered. We can actually do the summer barley and winter barley stuff. We could have
Yes.
planted some in the winter, and I didn't realise that.
Yeah. No, we just rushed because we were rushing. That's the problem, because this came out and we were setting it up. We just rushed to set it up, and actually not a whole lot of thought went into. Well, actually, there's a good portion of the year we're going to be doing nothing.
Yeah. So like where in
Other than
January,
grass or
February, I
contracts.
think it was January and February, we could have been planting barley ready to harvest in the summer,
Yes.
late summer or whatever. Because I think we've only got winter barley.
The other thing is, how many more months we got left?
We've got all of May, June, and partial of July, so 2.5.
So something else we're going to have to consider, and we're going to have a serious mod discussion, because mod hub wise, I know we went this year and last year with the rule of we would only have to make it easier.
Yeah. The server
Mod Hub
provides
hasn't
us a
got-
full list of downloads, though.
Yeah, the issue I've got is the mod hub doesn't have half of what I want. A good portion of what I want is out there, but it's not on the hub. It's third-party apps, mods and stuff.
So,
So-
the server does provide us a full list of all the mods that are on it. And
Yeah,
I'm happy if you want me to write a quick script that will pull from the server the list of mods and say, right, I'm going to add them to your mods list and overwrite if we've got a newer one, we're going to overwrite it on there. That's not an issue. So it's a double click this script, it will update
the only
mods.
benefit with those mods from third-party sites is that you're not updating them.
Yeah,
Because unless there's major wrong with it and there's an update that comes out to fix it, then maybe you might go on and get the new one and update it. But generally speaking, once they're on, they're on.
yes.
And we'll have to stick with the rule of we're not going to just. I know we've fucked around a little bit this year and we've added a few bits, but generally I think we've been better.
Yeah.
I'd like to think, Alex,
Sorry, what the what?
about adding mods. We've been
Oh,
better this
yeah.
year about not adding random mods, and I know me and Callum have had a couple of days where we've added some random bits just to fuck around with, like when we got your new business car.
Oh god, yeah.
What I can do though as well,
generally-
if there's not, if there's mods due to come out or something later on in the year that we want to add, I can easily do something on the app where when we add new mods, I say, right, this is where the mod is on the server. It's a new mod. It will ping on the app for us. Click it and say, I want to update my mods list. Anything we've updated, added, changed, it will download to your computer and you can put it in. And then the app will know you've got the new mods, and it won't show you that message the next time you go on. The only thing is you'd have to then view the app for that one occasion on your computer, because
I very much,
Yeah.
I very much want to use, where we're going smaller and we're going to be using smaller equipment, I want to use older tractors because I quite enjoy, as much as I love these new tractors, that's great, but there's nothing better than driving an old Ford, like 120 horsepower Ford around. They sound like, especially like some of the mods that people have done, they sound amazing. So actually when you're driving around, rather than this fucking little quiet little engine that doesn't, you know, it's barely whispering, you've got a good old fucking diesel V8 chugging away. It sounds so much better.
Before the end of this farming year, we've got to do our Fent Boy stream.
Yes, we have got to do that. We've got to squeeze that in. I need to sort out on my next days off, assuming nothing comes up, I need to sort out my OBS and get my OBS working and set up, and so I can actually do it. And I need to order a fucking webcam. Oh no, I set my, no, I'm going to order a webcam because doing the phone is proven to be a pain in the ass, because using the app I'm using is causing me issues. So I'm just going to get a webcam.
What was it called? Konami or something like that?
I'm using an Elgato app.
Oh.
Which doesn't ever seem to... Sometimes it knows my phone's there. Sometimes it doesn't.
Right, okay.
Sometimes it doesn't know for about 20 minutes, and then it goes, oh no, ding ding, phone's plugged in. Do you want to use it as a webcam?
Right, okay.
It's driving me up the wall. I'm just going to order a webcam.
Fair enough.
It's great. Some of these things are great that you can do it, but everything now, and the capitalist world we live in, everything wants you to pay monthly for it. I can't just buy, if I could just buy something outright and go, right, no, I own this.
Yeah.
Oh no, you have to pay £5 a month if you want to use this. So, no, I don't want to fucking pay for. Just sell me the fucking software. I'll never update it. It's fine as long as it worked. I'll pay that money.
Yeah.
That's what I've given up using. What's the tablet program that allows you can use on Elite Dangerous and stuff?
Game Glass.
Good. Yeah, I gave up using that. So I paid 30 quid for lifetime updates and always have access to it, no problem.
Yeah.
It's gone to a pay monthly service, hasn't it? So
sure,
I can
your
have access
grandfathered in as...
Oh, for the 2 shards I have that were out when I signed up for that, I'm grandfathered in, yeah.
Oh, but
anything else
anything
I have to pay monthly for.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's exactly why I refuse, hands down, to use it. Because in the initial agreement, when I signed it, anything that came out, I would have access to.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit.
Now I don't. I have to sign up to the monthly service if I want to have access to it. Don't know. I won't use it anymore.
No.
Refuse point blank. Right, I'm going to make this the last run up, and then I'm going to go and park up at the farm.
Yep.
Finish. Probably got about half the field done, to be fair. So we'll probably get the rest done tomorrow night.
Yeah, we've got a good chunk of it.
Yep. I think there's like fields like this is what's forced us to use Horseplay a lot more though, because it is just unmanageable in the week, and
Yeah.
I don't always want to then, when I've been doing it every night of the week, want to then on my days off come and spend 9 hours farming.
Yeah.
I want to do something else. I want to. Well, it's basically I want to go and play Armour because apparently I'm fucking obsessed with Armour, but and I blame Butters 100% hands down. He keeps making me play these games that I tell him I'm not going to enjoy. So what are we now? So it started off with Euro Truck.
Yeah.
No, I'll never play that. I won't enjoy that. Fucking loved it. Got thousands of hours sunk into it. Farming Sim. No, it's not for me. Thousands of hours sunk into it. Armour. Nah, I've watched the videos. I don't think it's for me. Fucking 200 hours already I've got sunk into that.
Yeah, it's one
I
of
do
those,
think
yeah.
I've never been good at shooters ever in my life, but actually because that doesn't grade you based on, oh, you've had this amount of kills and you've done this and you've done that. It grades you based on how useful you've been to the team.
Yeah.
Is what it basically grades you on, isn't it? So if I want to go and just fucking run cargo all night, I still get points for it. I've still been useful to the team. You know?
Yeah.
What am I doing? I said I wasn't doing another run.
I wondered that. I didn't know if maybe I misunderstood and you doing another up and
No,
down.
because I'm talking and I've not. Obviously, love the sound of my own voice, don't I?
Oh shit, well this needs shit putting on it and lime.
Oh, okay, and bad.
Yeah. We've got to
And
do
we did
lime
say
before shit.
We did say we believe. No, we weren't going to do anything with the grass fields. I thought it was only the because it doesn't affect yield or anything too much on grass fields.
I'm sure we were. It was only like
okay,
every
we were.
3 or something we had to do it on. I don't know. I mean, we could leave it.
Should we take a vote? Butters, vote with me.
Should do a
It's
wheel
up to
spin.
you, dude. It's up. I definitely for the arable field.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. I thought we agreed we were because we didn't do any extra fertilizer on the fields because it was going to make negligible difference.
We'll leave it then. We'll leave it.
I'm going to leave the mowers attached because we're coming back on tomorrow. There's
Yeah.
no point taking them off.
I left the... It's not a combine. It's not a mower. Baler. I left the baler out in the field. What a prick.
So they tell me. Hey! Make sure you save, yeah.
Oh, the door's stuck now. Oh, no, it just couldn't figure out what to do because you were leaving.
I had that effect. Hey!
Yeah, it's trying to figure out how quickly you throw the party.
Frick.
Something they tell me.
See, mine was funny because you said what a prick, and obviously it has the double meaning of suggesting that I have a sizable prick. Whereas I just said prick.
Okay. I'm going to end my stream here for
You know
today. So massive thank you to those who joined me today. If you're new to the channel, haven't already, follow the channel, follow Twitter, subscribe to YouTube, all that fun stuff. Links are below the channel. You can, of course, subscribe to the channel if you wish to do so. If you're Amazon Prime, get Twitch Prime. If you're Twitch Prime, you can subscribe for free. Also, do so, as I alluded to, I will be back tomorrow after work for day 122 of the Countdown Stream Day Challenge. I do hope to see you tomorrow.
Summer in the hills, those hazy days I do remember. We were running still, had the whole world at our feet, watching seasons change.